A Course in Miracles. Lesson 20. I am determined to see. We have been quite casual about our practice periods thus far. There has been virtually no attempt to direct the time for undertaking them. Minimal effort has been required, and not even active cooperation and interest have been asked. This approach has been intentional and very carefully planned. We have not lost sight of the crucial importance of the reversal of your thinking. The salvation of the world depends on it. Yet you will not see if you regard yourself as being coerced, and if you give in to resentment and opposition. This is our first attempt to introduce structure. Do not misconstrue it as an effort to exert force or pressure. You want salvation. You want to be happy. You want peace. You do not have them now because your mind is totally undisciplined, and you cannot distinguish between joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain, love and fear. You are now learning how to tell them apart, and great indeed will be your reward. Your decision to see is all that vision requires. What you want is yours. Do not mistake the little effort that is asked of you for an indication that our goal is of little worth. Can the salvation of the world be a trivial purpose? And can the world be saved if you are not? God has one Son, and He is the resurrection and the life. His will is done because all power is given Him in heaven and on earth. In your determination to see is vision given you. The exercises for today consist in reminding yourself throughout the day that you want to see. Today's idea also tacitly implies the recognition that you do not see now. Therefore, as you repeat the idea, you are stating that you are determined to change your present state for a better one, and one you really want. Repeat today's idea slowly and positively at least twice an hour today, attempting to do so every half hour. Do not be distressed if you forget to do so, but make a real effort to remember. The extra repetitions should be applied to any situation, person, or event that upsets you. You can see them differently, and you will. What you desire, you will see. Such is the real law of cause and effect as it operates in the world. Lesson 20. I am determined to see. I am determined to see. The decision beneath every world. Lesson 20 does something radical by refusing drama. Vision is not presented as a mystical achievement reserved for advanced minds. Vision is presented as the simplest kind of power, decision. The lesson uses the word determined, and that word carries a quiet finality. Determined means a decision has been made, and the mind is resolved not to trade it back for the familiar comforts of grievance and fear. That is why the early practice was intentionally casual. A coerced mind cannot see. Coercion breeds resentment, and resentment is a pledge to keep perception frozen in its old interpretations. When religion becomes pressure, guilt, and threats, the content is no longer truth, even if the words sound holy. Truth does not need force. Love does not need leverage. Vision cannot be injected like medicine down a resisting throat. It must be wanted. So Lesson 20 introduces structure and immediately protects it from the ego's misreading. Structure is not pressure. Structure is not strain. Structure is a gentle rhythm that interrupts trance. It is a bell that rings throughout the day and reminds the mind which teacher has been chosen. The lesson says the mind is undisciplined and therefore cannot distinguish between joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain, love and fear. This is not condemnation, it is diagnosis. If the distinction were actually recognized, pain would be treated like a hot stove. No debate would be required, no philosophy. The hand would withdraw automatically. The fact that suffering is repeatedly chosen proves something simple. Suffering has been mislabeled as safety, control, identity, or love. This is what discipline means in the Course's sense. Discipline is not self-punishment. Discipline is the mind learning cause and effect. The ego teaches that the world causes the feeling justifies the reaction, and the reaction proves the world was dangerous. That loop is the engine of exile. The reward promised in Lesson 20 is described as great, and the ego immediately tries to translate reward into a better dream. But the course's reward is deeper. It is the end of exile. Exile is the belief in separation. Exile is the sense of being outside peace, outside love, outside home, and therefore having to earn safety through control. Salvation is the undoing of that belief. Happiness and peace are not payments received after perfect performance. They are what remains when the need to interpret everything through fear is released. Imagine a quiet house with a bell installed in the hallway. The bell rings every 30 minutes. It does not scold, it does not accuse. It simply chimes once, and the sound becomes a doorway. Travel plans fall apart. The body registers disappointment. The ego offers its script: loss, limitation, deprivation. The bell rings. "I am determined to see" is repeated slowly and positively. Nothing outside changes, but the purpose underneath perception shifts. The cancellation is no longer a verdict on worth. It becomes a moment to choose peace over prediction. An expectation collapses. No promise was made, but a story was. The ego's accountant opens its ledger and calculates what is owed. The bell rings again. Determination restores honesty. A demand is not love, and a grievance is not protection. Peace becomes possible in the same room where resentment once felt automatic. There is a knock at the door. Someone arrives selling a story, pushing an agenda, insisting on a frame. The ego wants opposition. The bell rings. A boundary remains without hatred. Discernment exists without condemnation. The person becomes a brother again, not a symbol. Lesson 20 quietly admits that real seeing is not happening yet. That admission is not shame, it is clarity. Pretending to see is the ego's favorite disguise. Admitting blindness removes the disguise and invites help. "I am determined to see" holds two truths at once: a current condition and a chosen direction. Then comes the line that rewrites the entire psychology of experience. What you desire, you will see. Desire is not craving for objects. Desire is the goal assigned to perception. The mind wants something and recruits the body's eyes to find proof. If the desire is to be wronged, evidence will appear everywhere. If the desire is to be separate, differences will dominate. If the desire is to be special, comparison will rule the room. If the desire is to be unsafe, the world becomes a threat monitor. Not because the world causes this, but because the goal causes the world that appears. And if the desire is to see, a different world appears without changing a single external fact. The miracle is not rearranged events. The miracle is the end of fear-based interpretation. This is the reversal of thinking on which salvation depends. A healed purpose paints a healed world. Determination is simply the refusal to keep painting with fear, not through force, through freedom, not through pressure, through preference, not through understanding first, through willingness now.